Effectively written formative assessments offer an opportunity to see the discrepancies between what students think they understand and what they do understand. Take a moment to consider how this applies to your classroom instruction strategies. In a recent class session, students were given this screen in an individual breakout room to solve at the completion of a class session. Here is the correct answer. This was the most common variation given by students. The misconception was that because they had already used the 3 times 3, they must need to subtract 8 to get to the answer. This offers an opportunity for students to see that equations are a set of directions, not just a checklist to be completed. This was the second most common variation. This offers the student an opportunity to discover first that you must complete the equation using order of operations, and second, that you have to start any multiplication at 0. Otherwise, you end up with an incorrect final answer. If the feedback from this assessment involves asking students leading questions that will result in a student discovery of the cognitive dissonance, then students will regain this information. A smile sheet is an informal term representing a set of questions that are based on what students think or feel, not necessarily to demonstrate what they know. As a teacher, how would this information be useful in directing instruction? Here is a column from my recent gradebook. There was 1 smile sheet and 1 performance assessment on this quiz. The color of the squares represents the smile sheet assessment. Red squares are those students who stated they sort of get it. Yellow squares are students who profess to get it mostly, and green squares represent definitely getting it. The percentages represent the response to the performance assessment. In this case, the information question was written such that students either knew the definition or didn't. Putting aside the results from the performance assessment, which encouraged additional resources for the students and reinforcing the concept, some of the variation between the smile sheet and the performance assessment raises concern. For example, these students believe they have an understanding of the concept, yet scored a 0% on the performance assessment. As a teacher, this is definitely a time to investigate further. While these students believe they do not understand, yet received a 100% on the performance assessment, this could be an instance of low self-efficacy that needs to be addressed for the student to be successful in the long term. Self-efficacy, or the belief in oneself, has been shown by research to have a vital impact on student achievement. As teachers, smile sheet-style assessments allow us clues into the student's level of self-efficacy. Formative performance assessments are only as effective as the questions included. Please take a moment to brainstorm some components of an effective formative assessment. Here is a sample formative assessment question from a lesson on order of operations with the objective: students will demonstrate correct usage of order of operations through simplifying complex order of operations expressions. Because this is the first lesson on this topic, a multiple choice question provides an excellent opportunity for students to solve objective questions before constructing answers. Depending on the answer given, there is evidence of the student's misconception of the concept of order of operations. Please take a moment to choose one objective from your current curriculum to use in the next live training session.